Strick City. Woo! Strick City. All over the world.
Strick City, man, we live. Yo, Strick City on the ride. Yo, look like surprise. Yo, taking your city like we live. Yo, man, we live. Yo, taking your city like surprise. Yo, on the ride. Yo, Strick City coming live. Yo.
All right, so we are live. You got me, your boy Strick, man. And I'm so happy to have you with me here tonight. And I've done something that I need you to do. I'm just going to start with it. I need you to share this video. You know what I'm saying? This live stream, Strick City Live. All you have to do is do what I have already done, which is click the button. Click the button that says share and let everybody that knows you on Facebook know that you're watching and can watch right along with you. And then come right back. You know what I'm saying? If you hadn't already did it, it's in the description. I have a YouTube channel that I need you to subscribe to. So once you hit that button, subscribe, it's going to say, will you please like to confirm your subscription to Strick City YouTube channel? You hit yes and come back and hang out because I have an extremely great guest that I do not want you to miss all the content that she's going to provide tonight. I'm so excited to talk to this young lady. She has a wealth of information when it comes to helping small business owners with video marketing, all that other kind of stuff. And she even does what I do. She has a podcast too. We're going to get a chance to talk about all of it tonight. And I'm like, she's a part of the Let's Get Live crew. So shouts out to Dot Rock and all of the guys over with the Let's Get Live Facebook page, or excuse me, I should say Facebook group. So shouts out to all of you guys. Hope you come through tonight, hang out with us. Miss Kim, good evening. Appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Already hanging out with us tonight from the Let's Get Live group. That being said, I want to say something really quick. I hadn't said it in a while. You know, this show actually has a partner. It's called Urban Ham. UrbanHam.com is where you can go to get all the information that you need about what's happening right here in Birmingham. That's Birmingham, Alabama, guys. I say that because we have some international people that'll check this show out, and I appreciate you doing that. Without further ado, because I need this lady to have all the time that she needs. Like, I'm not doing anything extra but talking to her. And I'm probably going to put my hand up like this just to hear what she has to say because it's so cool. Shouts out to you, my man, Brent. You know what I'm saying? Brent, how you doing? What's up to you, sir? Appreciate you checking us out tonight. My man, LP, hashtag Strick City. You know we're all over the world, right? Yeah, dude. It's really, really going down. Hello to you, Nidra. You know what I'm saying? And she said she was not going to miss out, Miss Kim, to listen to Miss That. I'm not missing out on it either. Like, I'm excited about what's about to happen. Like, really, really excited about some of the questions. We're going to talk a little tech, but we're going to really talk more about Miss Diana, like what she allowed me to get into her brain. And let's just talk Diana Gladney. Can we do that tonight? Well, without further ado, I'm going to bring her on, and you guys do the very best job that you can to give a very warm welcome. I'm going to actually do the applause, but as you're out there, you can clap your hands like Brett did in the comments and let everybody know that you're hanging out with us and that you're celebrating my guest, Diana Gladney. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, DJ Strick, man. That's some intro. Whoa, feel like Michelle Obama out here in these streets.
And you should. Very well should. You should feel like that. I appreciate you hanging out with us. I clicked the applause button and it just come through when my sound effects are down. Yeah, there we go. Let's try that one more time, see if I get it.
There we go.
Yeah, Alicia told me yesterday I need to work on my clapping because, you know, it could be a little better. Lim Drops is in the building or in the stream.
Lim Drops in the building.
Appreciate you guys hanging out with us. Miss Diana Gladney. Man, I am so happy and thrilled that you're willing to hang out with me. You know, it was New Year's that you actually came on to the show for my 5-hour live show.
Hey,
I think it was New Year's Eve. Yeah, we brought in
New
the
Year's
New
Eve and New Year.
Year's.
Yep.
Yeah, we brought in the New Year together, and we are, I guess, together in the Let's Get Live group. But you
Mhm.
also, do you still have the Entree Women TV page? Is that something that you sunsetted so you can focus all your attention in this group and other stuff you're doing?
Yeah, that was just because I know some people would be hesitant if they didn't know or weren't already familiar with Doc, or just hesitant or whatever reason, so that they had the support during Vlogmas. And then like right at the last week of Vlogmas or so, I'm like, okay, if you want to keep going until the end of the month, go ahead and hop over to Let's Get Live, because running a group is more energy than I have to deal with. So so yeah, I'm super active and focused in the Let's Get Live, just providing value to the community there, until the day comes where it's time for me to open up a official group, but it's not there yet.
I got you. I got you. So, I know you, but I want my audience to know you a little better, because there are people I feel like just watching tonight that could, number one, benefit for the information that we're going to talk about, but also benefit with a connection to you. Like, so the idea is that I'm sharing Diana with you guys so you all know who she is, because some of you guys really need to call Miss Diana to help you in your business. All right. So this is not a sales call. I'm exposing people. That's what Strick City is all about. So that being said, then I know you have a connection to Alabama. We've talked about this
Mhm.
before, but you were up the street in Huntsville for school at Alabama A&M. What was that like for you? You're coming from St. Louis to Huntsville, Alabama. Was there a culture shock at all?
I don't know if it really was, because I was here for whatever that meant. So and a lot of people, I was the first one in my family to leave, like in my as far as my siblings, to leave home, go to a completely different state where you know nobody, you know nothing, kind of have no ties essentially,
Right.
and just to do your own thing. And at the time was 17, so I graduated high school when I was 17. So it was
Hold
a
on, let
bit
me
of a
stop
shock.
you right there. Like, I should have known it. I should have known it. You have been a geek your whole life. Is that not right?
Yeah, I skipped a I so I didn't skip a grade. I started school early. So it's kind of like skipping a grade, but I just kind of just I started school early.
They're like, you know too much to be at the house. We're taking you to school.
Yeah.
Are you
Yeah,
like
so
the
I get
youngest or a middle kid, or
the youngest of 6, 3 girls, 3
that's what
boys.
it is. No, you're going to school. No, ma'am. You're not gonna be asking us questions all day long, every day.
Okay.
Let's go.
Exactly. Too nerdy for your own good. Know how to write in cursive, count to 100. So all the things that they want you to do, or learn eventually. I'm like, yeah, I'm past all this. I can go through the whole thing. It's like so. It was a lot of fun. I still remember the testing to get just to start school. I think I started school when I was like just turned 4 years old or something like that. And so that was probably the weirdest culture shock, more than moving to Alabama.
You think so? So when
Oh
when
yeah,
they when they gave you the test, you're like, "What is this kiddie stuff? Like, what is this? I already know this. Why are you
yeah,
testing me on this?" That's probably what you
yeah,
said, right?
yeah. So I found out later. It was probably like 3 years ago that my mom told me I was like 2 or 3 points from testing gifted. So that was fun to learn later on in life. But but yeah, it was just kind of it felt a little ridiculous, because those were regular conversations at home. Again, youngest of 6, so you got plenty of knowledge in the house, and all of that. My mom is pretty nerdy, so it
You
was very
get it
interesting.
from your mother. Okay, it
Get it
comes
from my
out.
mom.
Yeah, it comes out. It comes out. What was your experience really like being up in Alabama and A&M?
I loved it. It's the best time of my life. I'm not even gonna kid. Like prior to now, like going through and being a full-time entrepreneur and content creator, that is its own joy as a woman. But as a young lady going into becoming an adult, moving to Alabama, going to Alabama A&M, had a full band right scholarship. It was the best time of my life. I had made some friends on a website that was called HBCU Connect. I wanted to know what that HBCU experience was like, because we only heard about it. And
Hmm.
so we'd have the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff that would come here, and they do it. So you'd see a snippet of it,
Right.
but we never really saw a whole lot. So come my junior year in high school, we raised money. We worked really hard so we could go to the Atlanta Battle of the Bands, and that changed my life. It was the best time ever. And so for the first time, we got exposed to, for real, that Southern style band culture, just HBCUs and all of that. Because everybody think, well, you got Harris Stowe there. And it's like, yeah, but it's not the same.
Right,
And like my
right, right,
friends
right.
told me, when I moved to Alabama, anything north of the Alabama state line is the North. So, and so that's like coming from quote
Right.
unquote the North. It's just like it didn't matter. Like your core style marching, none of that. You didn't do the high step. You didn't do field shows like that. It's a whole other culture
It's a whole other world.
down there.
You're right.
Yeah. So when we saw that for like the formations, the sound, it was mind blowing. And so from that experience, I was like, either I'm gonna go to Bethune-Cookman College, or at the time it was Bethune-Cookman College, now it's university. I'm gonna go to Alabama A&M or Langston University. So it's between those three. I almost got a full ride to Bethune-Cookman, but for whatever reason didn't. And I did get a full ride to that, but I got into like 16 schools. And so of that, I had my choice and I picked Alabama A&M. And so it was like the best experience ever to like just go down there. And the 3 friends that I made on HBCU Connect, so you could connect with people that would be in the same kind of program as you or whatever,
Okay.
and just like prove that you deserve to be there. Because we would do what we call running the hill. And so A&M is on the hill. So first day of band practice, like it's just freshmen there. The upclassmen aren't there yet. So you're there a week early. You got to run that hill. Like no water, no break, none of this Pamby stuff. Let's go run the hill. And on that run, they're going to run you past the dorms because they want to see, do you really want to be here? And the band director told us, he said, some of y'all are going to run past your dorms and you're going to be thinking how thirsty you are and how tired you are and how hot it is. And some of y'all going to run in your dorms and we ain't going to see you no more. And he was not lying. That happened every year.
They just quit. So who was the band director at that time?
Mr. Wesley.
Gotcha.
Goodness, I can't call his full name. Mr. Wesley, and then David Yates, David K. Yates, honestly, was the assistant band director at the time.
Gotcha. You know, my friend Ruben Stutter, he actually went to Alabama.
Played with Ruben.
Was in the band. That's what's up. What's up.
Yeah, one of the years I was there, he came and did the Sorry for 2004. Obviously, it was like 2006, 2007. But he came perform with us, so we got to do, I think it was Homecoming we got to play with Ruben. And I was probably like 1 or 2 rows right behind him. So I got a chance to meet him. It was pretty cool.
That's what's up. You know, we got a lot of our Let's Get Live people in the comments, so I cannot go any longer without shouting some people out. You know, I got to connect with my man, Rich, man. Rich, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And Kim Butcher says that, Diana, y'all have a lot in common. We got to see, like, is she's the youngest of 6? Is she like a geek as well? Like, Kim, are you a geek as well? Like, we need to know that, Bishop. Yeah, here we go, Bishop Oliver. That's my man right there. I got a chance to connect with him yesterday, and he is that guy. And Andrew Nixon, the Nixons are in the bill. Like, everybody got love for the Nixons, man. They're really doing some big things for our community. Big shouts out to y'all. So thank you for hanging out with us. We talked about school. Like, when you graduated from Alabama A&M, you went back home,
let me clarify. Right? I didn't graduate from school. I dropped out.
I got you.
So let me clarify. Yeah, I as nerdy as I was, let me be honest. I didn't even go to school for it. I looked up none of the educational things. I just wanted to be in band.
I got you.
So after I was about 2.5 years in band, I'm like, okay, enough. I moved to Ohio.
I got you. So at that point, were you starting into business? Did you go to another school, or how did that work? What was next for you?
I was trying to figure out what was next for me, because I didn't have a plan other than just to try to get out of St. Louis to go have a Southern style marching band at HBCU experience. I had that. And then after that, I had to figure out what did I want to do. And I kind of had hit a crossroads at that point of what do I want to go to school for real? Do I feel smart enough to feel like I, can really be a good college student? Because I had a lot of poor belief systems about myself academically, that I just wasn't smart enough, or my grades would never be good enough.
Stop right there. Like, I already know you've been a brainiac your whole life. What do you mean that you?
I'm not kidding. It's the truth. Something happened in high school, or throughout, not even high school really, but just throughout school. You get into that whole comparison thing. And it's too much of that for too long. Whatever lies that you tell yourself, you begin to believe about yourself. And without understanding that, that's what I went through. So it didn't matter about being a grade early. It didn't matter about, it's like you get to the point you're so smart or what have you, or you can go through your work fast enough that you're now playing and you get kicked out of class for playing because you're bored. And so I took those negatives as I would never get suspended or nothing like that, but it just became a thing. Like, I can't do this. Gotcha. And the not being able to do it was like, I must be doing something wrong.
Was it more of some of the stuff that's not keeping your attention school-wise?
It was, I didn't know how I learned best. I didn't understand myself. So I'm doing a lot of obedience thing. I'm trying to be obedient to my parents, trying to do what's right. But somewhere in the midst of there, I'm doing a bunch of other things for other people. And I'm not really spending any time with myself to learn more about myself. Every decision I felt like was not my own. It was something to either keep me out of trouble or to make my parents happy. And neither of those were something that it's like I identified of myself. So I felt like for the longest time I was faking being a person that I wasn't, but at the same time I didn't know who I was for real. And so that's why when I went to school, I went for what I wanted. Everybody was against me. That was a horrible time. I almost got kicked out the house because there was a lot of arguments around you should do this. And I'm like, no, I spent my entire life doing everything of what everybody wants me to do, to make these check boxes of, what's acceptable. And this is the one thing that I want. And nobody's in agreement with it because of their beliefs about whatever it is about being a young lady leaving, going to school someplace else or whatever. And so I was like, well, this is what I want. And this is the only thing that I know that I want. And this is something I believe I can do. I knew I could play music well. I had taught myself to play like 3 different instruments.
Wow.
I would write music, I say, this is the only thing that I can say like it's me. Right. And so when I left, I didn't care about nothing else. All I cared about was going to band, because that's one of the things that was just like me. So school academically didn't make sense because I never tried, you know what I'm saying, for myself.
I got you. That is interesting. I had a conversation just the other day that, man, I wished when I was younger we had YouTube, because I'm one of the guys, I guess, a visual learner. So if I can watch a YouTube video and it explains to you how to do something, I can do it. Like to this day, I had to just last week changed a sprayer on the kitchen faucet, and it wasn't working the way it should have worked. Like it wasn't as easy. Watched the video 1 minute, was able to know what the part that I was missing or the step that I was missing. Boom, it's done. And it was just that easy. Now I get to be a plumber just because I got YouTube. And if we had more visual learning in school, instead of just saying, hey, comprehend off of reading, everybody doesn't comprehend that well off reading. So there got to be other ways. But I'm saying that because I just wish I would have figured it out earlier, or even using something like was that Audible or something like that, where you can read the books and all that kind of stuff. These tools that you get as you're older really does help you consume information. You can just consume it so much faster, because now guess what, you learn how you learn. And my girl Kim here says that she was the youngest of 6. She said that this is how I'm connected to Diana. She went to Southern University and A&M. Hey. Like you went to Huntsville, like the Alabama A&M in Huntsville. And she too said that she's a nerd and she likes anime. Okay.
That's all right. Kim, you are my friend.
There you go. And then Andrew Nixon said, same here. Smart people get bored easy. I just mean you are a genius. And you are a genius. I think that you're like one of the smartest people I know. Like you're definitely in that book. Thank you. And Eileen wants to know, what instrument did you play?
Started off on the clarinet. My best friend taught me to play the alto saxophone so I could play and have fun with that in marching band. So I was section leader of the clarinet section, co-section leader, because my best friend was the head section leader of the saxophones. Eventually taught myself to play the drums, at least snare, quads, that's in marching band. So what else? Flute and I think the trumpet. Yeah, trumpet. Yeah, so those.
That's what's up. You're making everything I say about you so true. I mean, you just went to the instrument into the band room and just start geeking out on. Oh, you can make this make sounds, and you just started making sounds with all kind of stuff. That is funny.
Well, when you're writing pieces for the music for a time, it's like some parts of music theory I couldn't understand because again, I had poor beliefs about myself. So I'm like, well, I can't learn whatever. So what I could lean into was I could hear it like in my mind. So I knew in my mind that I could hear what it should sound like, and then I would get a transposition book, so I could transpose the notes from B flat instruments to the C concert style instruments to the E flat instruments like the alto saxophone or what have you. And then I was like, the best way for me to know if it's right is for me to play it. And so
Right.
I would go to my band director constantly, hey, can I borrow a flute? He's like, why? It's like, because I want to learn. He's like, okay. But he believed in me. So, and it's funny to this day, like literally at this moment, I have a picture of me being in high school band in practice with my band director, just kind of like clapping, keeping time in the background. It was a picture because he was like one of the first people that really believed in me and encouraged me in those moments.
Wow,
And so I'm
that's
just
good.
extremely grateful.
That's good. Do you have a lot of people that as you got to a certain point in life that encouraged you different than even some of your family members?
Oh, yeah. My biggest supporters, and it's everybody like to say they mom and their dad, but unfortunately that's not true. And it's not, and even if they were, I didn't feel that, so I didn't see it. And it was a lot of difficulties, again, for me growing up, dealing with those psychological challenges around the belief system. And so the first person after my band director was a young lady named Carla who graduated, and her younger brother was in band. And she would constantly come and she helped me record my audition tape. If I would say something negative, she'd reaffirm that and speak positive into my life. And so she was the reason that, and the person that helped me get into school. Then once I left Alabama A&M, I had the courage then to like, I could go and move anywhere. I could do anything. And after that would be my aunt. And she got me started for real on like the path of personal development to like, you're not stupid. You're not dumb. And like these things that you say about yourself are not okay. And so she knew I liked to read. So she would make me read books. She would make me have to respond to like, what did you learn? Or she would read them already. And she'd be like, well, chapter 3, what did you learn? And I'd have to be able to respond. And so it was because of her that by the time I moved to Ohio after I left Alabama A&M, I made the dean's list and then eventually the president's list. And so because she helped me to identify how you learn, reaffirm what you're saying to draw out like your true essence of really who you are. And so like I would come home and be super happy because I got a 98%. And so my aunt would ask, what happened to the other 2%?
Okay, that's good. That's good.
So she would push me. And I never forgot that experience. I still got the books on my shelves to this day because she helped me really flip my psychological thinking around myself and my belief systems. And that's honestly propelled me even to this day.
That is one of the things that we need are people in our lives that will definitely encourage us. We all need that. So I was interviewing Roy Woods Jr. A couple of weeks ago. And I asked him, like, what would you tell people that are trying to get to Hollywood? Like they want to be actor or get into comedy or whatever. He says, it blew my mind. He says, get rid of all the negative people around you. Not get an agent, not take classes, get rid of negative people because it is hard. And you know what? We have hard parts in our lives. And if we have people that will encourage us, lift us up, even when we make mistakes that can be encouraging, that can help us get to the next step and to question us even when we have a negative tone about ourselves. Because I believe that negative tone or negative thought about yourself is what slows most people down more than anything else.
Absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like we are okay with things that we say about ourselves to ourselves that let a stranger or a friend, quote unquote friend, or somebody say that to your face. Those are fighting words. with
Right.
no
Right.
questions asked, no,
Right.
what did you say? It's just a head cock and fist sandwich, and that's it.
Right.
And so it's like and so it's those things about the negative self-talk, the things that you believe to be true about yourself. It takes time to replace those thoughts, and then to the point that you truly believe in them. But it's like, until then, having people around you that believe in you and that are able to help course correct and help you to change your words
Right.
is extremely, extremely important. That's vital.
I think it's vital as well. I definitely want to shout out Miss Eva Johnson in the comments.
Hey.
She helped. The Let's Get Live community. Everybody is so helpful. She was letting me know that my volume was just a little bit lower than it needed to be. So definitely shouts out to you. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. And man, we have Normation Music. I've been putting his stuff up, but I haven't shouted him out for everything that he's been doing in the comments. He's like, we should start a LGL marching band. Like
Okay.
Dana, you can play all the instruments. You know what I'm saying? And then
Oh man,
my man Kirk, you know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to you. And
Bishop Kirk.
yeah, listen, I like my man Kirk. We got to connect really, really soon. And anybody that encourages me with a yes, Miss Elaine, I appreciate you in the comments. Keep them coming, okay? Diana, one of the things that I want to get to in your life, you actually tell this story a lot about you working in a bank. And while you were working in a bank, you were actually a YouTuber at the same time. And I think that story that you share is so phenomenal, because people are doing whatever they can. Because Gary Vee talks about this, like, go to work, but then do your work. Do the things you're passionate about. Go to work and then do the things you're passionate about, until those things that you're passionate about can actually sustain you. And can you kind of tell that story really quickly about how you worked at a bank and the transition from being a full-time content creator and business owner?
Absolutely. So what started the whole journey was because I was fine with where things were, because I was still living under the assumption of one day and eventually. And by the time I turned 30, I want to have done X, Y, and Z. And I
Right.
was fine with those statements and those potentialities until I got sick. And I realized that, after 16 months of being in extreme pain, I went to specialist after specialist. I think it was about specialist 5 or 6 that, finally uncovered, had stage 4 endometriosis. I had an appendix that was rotting, that was pulling on my intestines. And if either of them had popped, then I would have been dead. And so I went into emergency surgery to deal with that. And they did not know until they was in the midst of surgery all of what was going on.
Wow.
And so it was upon waking up from that surgery that it wasn't until I had to tell my sister, because she didn't think anything was wrong. It's just like, oh, you just the baby of the family. It's always something that, that kind of a thing. But it was when I had to explain to her, because she was calling, it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't know, because nobody knew.
Right.
So, you just think like something's wrong because it doesn't make sense to feel like this every single day.
Right.
Okay, well, until I had to have that conversation with her, and I'm in the hospital bed and I'm explaining to her that I literally was almost not here anymore.
Wow.
And then, I broke down crying. She's crying on the phone. And when I got off the phone with her, and my dad is sitting there, he's, my dad, don't cry like that or whatever, but it's a few instances where I remember him crying. And that was one of them.
Wow.
Okay, well, that experience changed me. And so when I went back to work, I was not the same person.
Gotcha.
Like, I didn't care about the same things, because I'm like, what would have been said about me? I was a good coworker, cracked some good jokes, you know what I'm saying? Made some good peach cobbler. And it's
You make
not
good
enough.
peach cobbler?
I make amazing peach cobbler.
Ooh, I take you up
make
on that.
amazing.
So right now we're doing 21 days of prayer and fasting.
But
at
when
my
the
church.
fast is over,
I'm gonna have to hit you up.
hey brother, I got you.
Yes, ma'am.
But that was the thing. It's like, yeah, once that was, I was like, what would have been said? And like, just sitting there, because I had to come back too early because I didn't have enough PTO. So I'm sitting there with stitches, and I'm still in pain because I'm trying to recover after this surgery and stuff like that too soon. And it just made me very, very unhappy that this is the best that I had done with what God had given me. And I didn't see life as an opportunity. I just saw it as whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't mean as much as it should have. And so coming into the realization that, life is an opportunity, and I wanted to honor that second opportunity that I was now on, I was like, I got to do something. So I started to research podcasts, and I'm like, man, they got all these podcasts out here, and it's just free information, and they going for forever, an hour long, and da 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 da. Started investing in myself, started investing in coaching, started watching a lot of YouTube videos. And so in doing that, fast forward, now I'm creating content. I get off work, I go home, I record videos, I record a podcast. I would, get familiar with blogs, get familiar with WordPress. And so my now lunch breaks and my regular breaks they weren't breaks. They would break away from the company for me to spend time on myself. My PTO hours went towards the business, went towards hiring, VAs, virtual assistants. So that time that I spent at work was for work, until eventually I grew to the point, just in like my consulting business and stuff like that, for as much as I was going to make in 2 weeks, I'd make with one client. And like, that was a wake up, like,
nice.
I don't have to be here.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How much more before I don't have to do this no more. Right. But I was like, I also don't want to be beholden to having to have coaching clients, because I still am trading time for money.
Right.
And I was like, I don't want to do that. So pull back on the clients. And I was like, I really, really dived into creating YouTube videos. Well, somehow it gets around that that's what I'm doing. Not that it was something to hide from, but in doing that, it's just like, oh, honey, how many subscribers you got? Man, I got 100. I got 200. And I'm super proud, because that's taking a lot of work.
Right.
And they just looking like, so you don't have any subscribers. It's just like, it's a joke, and you become the butt, and it's like, that's fine, because I know I'm in the process of leaving here for forever. And the last, like one of the last straws was a conversation with a young lady on lunch. This lady was retiring. This is her second retirement, and she's not even that old. But this is her second retirement. And they got the cake, and they like, oh, man. And so the young lady, she says, man, can't you wait to retire? I said, hell no, I can't wait to retire. I'm not finna die up in this place.
Wow.
Or a job. I was like, oh, hell no. She's like, what you gonna do? Man, I'm gonna make this work. Make it work. Wow. So eventually it got to the point, I've been praying about it, and my prayers just turned into angry conversations with the Lord.
Wow.
Like, okay. Hey, man, shoot, Lord, hey. Just like 1,000 miles per hour in the morning, just mad, waking up. Like, wow. Hey, something got to change. I'm sick of this. Like, right. I can't keep living like this. And that's literally all the prayer. Like, I can't keep living like this. Wow. So eventually one day, I just had, like, every morning, it's like, everybody, you got the people that's super bubbly in the morning. I'm just like, don't even talk to me. I don't want to be bothered. Wow. Like, I hate it. And I would say, and jokingly, like, one of these days I'm gonna walk in here and I'm gonna quit. Not thinking in those moments, you have what you say. Okay. Wasn't too much longer where one of those days I walked in and then I quit. It's about 9 something that morning. I was just like, I don't want to touch another account. I don't want to send another email. I just started cleaning my desk off, throwing stuff away. Everybody's like, are you okay? I'm fine. Caught my supervisor coming out the morning. It's like, Melissa, my badge and my keys are on your desk. Can you badge me out? I'm resigning. And I was so used to being like known as the person that would joke or be very kind and whatever else at times. And it's just like, when you get to this, like, are you okay? Do you need to take a day off? I'm taking all the rest of the days off.
Wow. Wow.
And I walked out and that was after a conversation literally in the bathroom with God. And it's just like looking in the mirror, looking in my eyes, looking back at myself like, Lord, at some point, like this, like, is this right? Because I wasn't sure. And all I heard on the inside was, either you gonna trust me or you ain't. Gotcha. And I'm like, well, Lord, I guess we about to go out here. And I deleted all my resumes, burned all the bridges. I don't want to be in a position of putting myself back in a comfort zone of, right. Well, I'll apply just in case. No, it wasn't no just in case. It was live or die.
Gotcha.
And that's where I was at. Either I'm going to succeed or I'm going to die. And that's it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I'm glad we got to that story while we got these preachers on the line. Keith Pelzer chimed in,
Uh-oh.
Strick and Diana. So glad to have you on. And of course, I already shouted out my man Kirk. Listen, we went by it really fast because you said it in your story that you actually were so sick that you were about to die, and that experience or fight or battle for life is what changed your mind about how you were currently living at that time. Like it's kind of like almost a rewrite of the Matrix. Like you got the death experience got you out of the thought of being in this hamster wheel that you wanted more for yourself, and that's incredible. That's incredible. As you are doing this, you're making content on YouTube. You're building clients for business coaching. Now, when you do business coaching, is it geared toward content creation, or this is just regular, like I can help you grow your business type business coaching?
Well, at the time when I was still working, I hadn't developed the skills of really being even a good content creator for real. So my
Gotcha.
consultations were around those early promise of the channel around basically helping somebody to set up the business, understanding the state side of things and the federal side of things. Most people didn't know how to make that connection to come up with a competent, really plan, not a formal business plan, but like, here's how you set this up. Here's what you need to do in the first steps and all those things. I understood that very well. So that's what I did consultations around. And so it was working because a lot of people want to start a business, but they just don't know how. And
Right.
so I couldn't do on video content marketing because I hadn't gotten that far in the journey yet. I'm just now doing it. But my early content that I was making around that was bringing me clients, and the podcast was bringing me clients. So that's what I did. Now it's about video content marketing, YouTube SEO and strategy and things like that for entrepreneurs and small teams. But at the time, it was just around what I knew. So I was selling what I knew essentially, and the systems and efficiencies, because I'm like, there's a value here, and money is simply an exchange for value. So I was like, that's how I'm gonna get my first way out.
There's a value here, which is the value is the content you provide for your clients, the information you provide to how you can go from A to Z and be more efficient, that you could reach more people, which means make more money. That value is also what gave you money. Like that's how you were able to create more wealth for yourself. Some of the things, Diana, that you say, like we've been talking for a while now, just watching some of the lives that you do personally, because you were on today. Like, I guess I could just take a break in like talking about this, just to say today how much content that you put out, whether it was live online or whether you were in Clubhouse, kind of trying to bring value to people. Like how much time, like even today, or how many social media platforms were you providing content in
Today?
just today, just to make it simple, because if I say, well, how many do you do all the time, I'm just talking today because I've already
Today was Clubhouse right before now, was on Facebook, also in the group, was on Instagram through stories and through the post today, and then I think on YouTube was probably just the community tab, so in a very small way.
Gotcha.
But that's like the platforms I think today.
That's what's up. Some people think that streaming is easy. Sometimes people think content creators' lives are easy, but there's a lot of work that goes in, and it's not like a 8-hour, 40 hours a week type of gig. Like you're always on, and Lim would know that. Big shouts out to you, Lim Drops, for checking us out. My man Keith actually moved to his YouTube channel so he could see us over here on YouTube side. So good looking, brother.
Hey.
Thank you for hanging out. And if you're on your own YouTube channel, The Convos, and you're not subscribed to my channel, I'm looking for you, brother. And big shouts out to my man Rich for hanging out with us. And if you're not subscribed, please, do me a favor. Hit the button, click the bell for notifications. Just had to kind of throw that in there. Let me see here. This was Rich. He says, Dana was on every street I was traveling through today.
I was your Facebook pixel.
Like, so as you're bringing content and you're bringing value to your small business owners and people are leveling up their business because do you have any kind of success stories that you can kind of share with us? Hey, this was one of my clients and, they took my tools, they used it, and it just, made their business go wherever it is now.
I mean, shoot, that's kind of hard because I think I would honestly, it's like I've had a lot of them, but I don't try to, I really don't try to like hold on to them or think because it's just like a trophy in a sense. And it's like, so for example, I can say from a production side, video production side, one of my clients with a micro piece that we made is like 60 seconds or less, posted that on TikTok that turned into, I think, something like a $3,000 client because he saw that particular post, tracked back to his website or something like that, saw the other content that we had been making, and like that he had a YouTube channel, signed up for his mastermind. That was like 3 grand or something like that,
Wow.
just from a 60-second clip. I've had clients that from early days of consultation that the company that I helped them to set up and create the efficiency route, they're still doing and making money from it, and they're happy. You know what I'm saying? And bringing in extra money that is not stressful to them or their family, that lets them have all kinds of things. So, it's just like, and just being able to pay some bills, like the car
Right.
note, the house note, the
That's
phone bill
important
is
stuff.
taken care of. Yeah, it's taken care of from something that you enjoy doing. From the video side of the work, I've had plenty of them. I had a pastor over in Africa that was able to say, like, he was able to save their ministry because of the free stuff that I put out. That people
Wow.
say their business has been able to keep going because of the free content that I put out. So it's just like I've gotten tons and tons of testimonials in that way of how what I've done has helped them. But I try to keep myself humble. I try not to keep that in my pocket, so to speak, because the more I focus on my last greatest success, the more I miss on the next person I'm really supposed to be helping.
I
You know what I'm
got you.
saying? So
That's
yeah.
important. That's important. I want to send a shout out right now to Big Promotions for their subscription, like in real time. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? That's from your boy Strick. As you talk about mindset, so let me say this, because I should have said it earlier in the conversation and I didn't. But I really, really respect what you provide to the community of YouTubers, streamers, small business owners, the information that you put out. Not only do you talk about tech and you know what it is that you're talking about, I feel like you only say what you know. Like you're going to provide information about something that, hey, I tried it, I tested, I talked to the professionals. This is what you should or shouldn't do.
Mm.
But you also talk about mindset a lot in our community. Like even when people are negative in their speech, and I hear it from you earlier in your testimony that you used to be that way, and that's maybe why you correct people like often. Like you don't let any of that slide. You will always say your words. Your words are impactful and powerful. You need to say positive things about yourself, and I really appreciate that you would merge your secular information with your faith to be able to share it to people both at the same time. Like I've never had an opportunity to tell you that, but for any believer that is working in a secular space, that wants to help people in any business to still be grounded the way you are, being open to be able to share what you have. And I think, sometimes we get away from knowing that, some of the biggest like Zig Ziglars and all that, they were all faith people, and they were in the secular space and doing the same thing. But to have you in our community, kind of like that guardrail of saying, hey, this is what you need to do for your business and your live stream. And this is what you need to do for your mindset to keep you focused on what you're trying to do, for all of us that watch your content and it's a part of the groups that you're a part of, whether it's a Clubhouse, whether it's on Facebook. I want to say thank you for the work that you put in. Like it is definitely appreciated. And then I want to say this so that people know when you appreciate folks giving you content, especially when it's free content, you always need to figure out how can I support this person. Like if I'm getting something that's value to me and like you're giving us free content, like how is it that people can support Miss Diana Gladney in what you are doing, even with your time in the community, sharing your wisdom?
That's a good question. I have a poor answer for that. So, the only avenue that I've opened up publicly has been like letting the super chats come in on the live streams. Doc is kind of like that buzz in my ear right now about buy me a coffee. And it's like, yeah, I've had that since like 2019 and just never said a word about it. So, I mean, like, I guess you could do that, but it's like right now, I guess the best way like is to do something with what you've learned, like more than a monetary exchange.
I like that.
Like do something with what I've taught you, and
Okay.
like
No,
do
Dan.
like
Now you're not hearing what I'm saying.
I hear you.
You got buy me a coffee. You got Cash App?
Yeah,
Okay. What's your Cash App?
I don't remember.
The only other way somebody could give you a Cash App is by, sending it to your phone number. And I don't want you to give out your phone number, but I want everybody here that's listening to us tonight, like to really, really, we'll put it in the description of how you can support Miss Diana Gladney, even if we had to get her to open back up her buy me a coffee and we all buy her a coffee like a grande. Is that the tall one?
I think so. So I mean,
Okay.
I guess it's like I think it's still active. buymeacoffee.com/Diana, and that should work. I'll make sure it works.
That's funny. That's funny. Chris Pete, man, appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Hello to you. And that's Andrew Nixon again. They're hanging out with us. It says that's cool. June. Oh man, what's up, brother? Thank you for coming through. He's laughing at us for whatever reason. So I really appreciate Bishop. DianaGladney.com. Use her coaching and training services. Go to her website. And we're going to get some business here today. Why is it important? I think it's important because, she's on Strick's show. Guess what? That means Strick puts his stamp seal of approval of the value that she can provide a small business owners that's really trying to get off the ground. I have some people that I'm going to connect you with, even in the Birmingham area. I think they could really use some of your coaching and some of your tips with what they're doing. And what did Lim say? I'm going to talk to you, girl. He's laughing at you. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure we get this together. And silver and gold have I done. Okay, I get you, brother. Oh, man. So, Lady D, you are a gift, and we appreciate you. Like, I had to let that sit for a minute. Hector, thank you for making that comment. Big shouts out to Miss Diana Gladney. We definitely do appreciate you. And I signed up for a big social media summit, and Diana is a speaker. Thank you, Brent, for sharing that with us. And maybe we can talk about what that is so everybody will know how big of a deal Miss Diana Gladney is. Like, she's a really, really big deal. And this is... him getting on you.
I'm getting in trouble. I'm getting in trouble.
Rich, that's my guy right there. Rich says he's got a coffee
box. Thank you. Like, so I guess it works. It's like I went and checked it out. Yep. So Rich, I see you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Rich, it's just like that's something I'm not gonna lie. I'll be very transparent. This is something I'm working on. Because I'm not going to ask or open up some kind of revenue stream per se. If I'm, what I'm saying, I want to make sure I'm honoring people that are giving. And that's the thing. It's like making sure you wanting to give value. And it's just like, well, how much free content you got to do to, I guess that. But at the same time, it's like that internal check for me. What I'm saying? So I'm still working through it. And even Miss Felicia, she went off on me because she wanted to send me a gift. And I was like, no, don't worry about it. And so I got the Black woman pastor official, pop in the mouth via the DM. So it's like, still working on that. But I thank you all.
So I was watching a Doc Rock video, right? And he was explaining in Canva how you can do the white outline in your thumbnails for YouTube thumbnails.
Yep.
And because of his video, I actually started like completely changed the way I do graphics and layering the picture. And then I got a visual of how, because of what he said, that separates you from the background a little bit. Like you're able to with that same picture. And I'm thinking, man, that was a huge, huge deal. Now, I can't say that I'm a graphic artist, but I like my style because of what I do. Like I'm now on social media, I try to grab attention. If you can do a short video clip and it kind of is animated, to as people are scrolling, they scroll in pictures and articles, and then they get a flashing thing, and it's gonna make them stop. And that's just my style, just for social media. Not that it's the best flyer, but I'm just trying to make sure people see it. But him adding that piece to, or me seeing his video added value to me. And guess what? I want to be sure that I showed that appreciation and not just consuming all the information and going about my business. I wanted to support him. So I think it's important for people to have chances to support people. And it's, there's some biblical principles that's aligned with giving as well. So, as you have all planted seeds and people and gave free information, those people being able to give to you is another seed. So you can't stop. Think about it this way. You can't stop their blessings, right?
True.
Do you not think you're good ground?
I do, but it's like at the same time, I'm also not just be trying to reach in people's pocket pulling seeds out either. So
but it's of a gift. Like if they reach out to you and say, hey, I want to give you a gift. Listen, let me say, where is it again? There's go to your website, but can we say where they can buy coffee at again? Buy me a coffee.
Buymeacoffee.com/Diana. Buymeacoffee.com/Diana.
So let me get into this really, really quick. Yes, we get blessed when we bless you. Thank you, Andrew. When you get a client, like what are some of the things that you go through to figure out what direction you need to coach them in? Like how do you do consultations with people to know which area you need to go?
The first thing, the first step is always going to be clarity. Because there are a lot of people that sometimes they think hiring someone is the best move for them. And it's not so much so in just hiring somebody, but it's really understanding if they understand really truly your pain points and how we can best address those. And so the way that I go into that is getting clarity. Who are you helping with what specifically? You'll hear me say that phrasing consistently, because until we know who it is that you're trying to help and specifically how, we can't outline a plan. Most people pretty much operate their business or their content creation strategies as if they just open up the Google Maps app and just start walking around instead of setting a destination and hit get directions. So my thing is figuring out where are you and where are you trying to go? Then we can come up with those list of directions like a GPS system.
I like that.
Versus just doing random stuff. So it's always going to be about clarity.
I like that. So to give clarity, we're in 2021. What's the clarity that you have for yourself right now?
My clarity this year is going to be focusing more in as a leader. And so in hiring team members this year, which is one of the core focuses, because I need to.
Time out. You're hiring folks now? What's up? Where's the application at? We need to go to Monster or we need to go to LinkedIn. What's up?
It's not available. I will make an announcement when it is. I'm hiring a virtual assistant. And then I'm looking into hiring a video editor or working with a company that'll handle the video editing or at least a portion of it. And so those are pretty much going to be the first two, but like a virtual assistant just to handle like admin work, email responses and things like that. And just DMs, all of those different things, because it's kind of at a point now where, you got to flip. You got to go from being that solo entrepreneur, content creator, and just the trying to get to this point. And so now it's kind of like at that intersection where you have to flip and you got to transition into more than just being the content creator, but really to amplify the brand. You can't do everything. Right. And so just because I can do something doesn't mean I should. And then also time. Right. And I recognize from hiring VAs before, sometimes the money I may spend on food, for delivery fees or whatever else is a wage for someone.
Right.
and
Right.
and that wage amount would be a blessing to them. And
Right.
so, it's just about freeing up some time for me to be able to do other things. So that's going to be the first thing, is hiring. The second focus is going to be going deeper with my community in the way of the content of, now, we're into some next level. First year of 2020, a lot of people just getting into camera gear, video content marketing, and all that
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Got their feet wet enough of, you should be comfortable with producing content on your channel.
Right.
Now it's time to level up in a whole other different content strategy, which is why even myself buying new gear like this, Shure SM7B, the Rodecaster Pro,
Hey, we
and some
can't
other
just
stuff.
go by that Shure SM7B. You know what I'm saying? You're in the club. I love it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you sound really good too.
I thank you. Yeah, it's grown on me. I was gonna send it back because I love my Samsung Q2U, but at the same time, it's like, well, let's go ahead and go industry standard type stuff, because, again, not just for me, but for my clients and the kind of work and the things that I want to teach from. And then I'm also considering, it may not be this year, but it just depends. But I'm looking into, like, do I want to own a studio in a space like that? And then I would just get more of these. So I was like, well, why not go ahead and get one now?
Gotcha. So yeah, that's gotta be in your future, right? So I really think that having that focus like you are and having that clarity for 2021 is what's going to get you to where you are going next. I also feel that people are absolutely sleeping on having virtual assistants. I think that that's going to be the wave of the future, not only for content creators, small business owners, but also virtual assistants. Like, you're going to have people that just work, that are go-getters, work from home, and they make it happen. I am like really like, it's on my list of things to do this year to get a virtual assistant, and I'm gonna do that, and also have an editor. Like, that's on the plan, to just figure out how you can do those things so you can have more time. Like, for me, it's more time to be with the family, and also more time to create the content. Like, you can't always be in Premiere Pro trying to figure out how you make this transition work, or doing some color corrections. I can't do that all day. I need to do some other things. So I really appreciate you sharing that, because there's a lot of people, listen, that, we're in January, that don't have a plan, that don't have clarity, that really don't know which direction they're going, or, and they need people like yourself to help them get an understanding. So if someone is listening to us tonight, they've heard me like go on and on and on about how much I appreciate the value that you give our community, as far as content creators and people that are really trying to put information out, and they want to get connected with you. How can they do that?
I think the best place to go to is to my website at dinagladney.com. There you'll get access to whether you want to hop and be a part of the email community, the Entree Insiders, and then also we'll loop you back to the YouTube channel if that is something that you're looking to go deeper in as far as your video content strategy and just learning to use the tech, but also understand the YouTube side of things. Then you can search my name on YouTube and that will come up.
That's what's up. So I want to be sure people actually go out there and find you. So please, like, when you get the contacts or more people hit you up on the buy me a coffee, just let me know if people really came through for you. I want them to, like, they need to know who Diana Gladney is, because you are the bum.com. And I don't say that a lot, to people. Like, I don't even use the bum.com. But for you tonight, you get the title.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it so much. I really do.
Hey, listen, if people are out here, they're seeing you for the first time, is there anything you could tell them kind of like for 2021, like from a coaching standpoint, that you really want people to be aware of?
I would say really pay attention to YouTube. Doesn't matter what kind of business that you are in. A lot of people like to stay on the social platforms that they are most comfortable with. And they shy away from YouTube because they assume, well, my people are primarily over here and this, that, or whatever, when that's not really true. It's where they are most comfortable at. And so and like I said, pay attention to YouTube, because more than likely with the transition that the world has shifted to, this is going to become the encyclopedia of the world. Like, if it's not already, it's going to become more or less the encyclopedia of the world. So when people want to know something, they want to look something up, or they want to find out more, they're going to come to YouTube in some capacity. So while Facebook can be good, Instagram can be good, really, really develop a strong presence on YouTube and don't just post whatever, but really be and have a core focus and really be laser focused on the content that you put on your channel to provide value for the people that are either looking for answers that you can answer or answers to questions that you can address, or they're looking for more information about you.
That's what's up. I mean, you always hit home runs, and it was a great conversation tonight. I am like really grateful that you'll take the time to do this. Like, people don't know what it feels like for someone else to trust you with their time, like, and for you to trust me with the minutes you've given us tonight means a lot to me. And I pray that through this conversation that it benefits you and that it does bring value to other people as well. I got to buy you a coffee. I'm going to be on the list tonight. And I pray everybody else that's watching here beats me to it, because I can only do it after I get done here tonight. So, Diana, hold what you got. I want to kind of wrap up tonight and talk to the people. Listen, if you want to be a person that adds value to the world that you're in, the best thing you could do, if you're not at a place to where you feel like that's you, start to invest in yourself. Reading books, getting coaching, and all those things that you feel like, if I could just do this different, I could just do that. Start on the first, if I could just, and start working your way to a place where you can add value to someone. And as you are learning, give it away. Talk to somebody else. Say, hey, this is something I learned one day. What is a good friend of yours, good girlfriend, good guy friend? And you can just start communicating some things that you've learned. And as you give it out, you're able to get more information and grow. I pray that you were blessed by what happened here tonight with Diana Gladney. I am super excited about the people that are willing to share on this platform with me. Beat me to her, buy me a coffee at Diana Gladney. Beat me to that, and I pray that you'll support her just like I will. All right. So you know how we do this every Tuesday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. Thursday nights, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. You got your boy Strick for Strick City Live, and I absolutely, like, really, 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 I love this. I do.